empty glass.
Woo! Guys, welcome back to another Death Curse Society. I am Red Crank, I got the Colonel, and I got Zigzag.
Woo!
What? Guys, later on in the show, we're going to be talking about the new Friday the 13th box set from Shout Factory is going to have the missing Gore footage from part 2 included. Interesting little story about all that. Bruce Campbell also has teased the setting for the new Evil Dead sequel called Evil Dead Rise will be a city. That's going to be interesting. We're going to have a review on the new Mutants that's in theaters now. We're also going to be talking about Oklahoma City's Horror Con that I just went to a couple weeks ago. And then we're going to wrap it up with a teaser for what's coming to you on Monday Maniacs this Monday. But before we get to all that good stuff, don't forget to hit subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on all our social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and don't let your boat sink in the harbor, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go camping.
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't you? You'll never come back again. It's got a death curse.
For Let's Go Camping today, boys and girls, we're going to be talking about the new trailer for Never Hike in the Snow from Womp Stomp Films and writer-director Vincent DeSante. First, check this out, and we'll be back to talk about it.
Shit.
So that's the teaser that just dropped for Never Hike in the Snow, which is coming out October 13th. What are your initial thoughts, Colonel?
For one, the thing that really stood out to me was Jason with that fucking bow and arrow. I was like, come on, get the fuck out of here, seriously? Then I stopped for a second and said, all the other shit he's used, yeah, why the fuck not? Like, okay, now it made sense. Ghost Jason looks cool for Ghost Jason. I'm not a super huge fan of the look. It's not bad. I've seen way worse. And I still like the concept of it being in the snow. And I appreciate that it's actually in real snow. I know they had a few snowstorms while they were filming this, so that's going to be a nice added touch.
I did find out that the scene that is used in the teaser is pretty much pulled just straight out of an early scene in the film. Don't know what the context is or anything. Don't know how it attaches to the rest of the story with Tom Matthews and Sheriff Rick that comes back.
This is this film we were kind of promised after the original 2009 remake. Many were clamoring for it to be in the snow. Let's face it, Never Hike Alone is a pretty strong, independent, total fan film that it looks pretty good. Ghost Jason, yeah, everyone goes back and forth on his look. And for me, it's more like the timeline. Now, we don't really know where this Jason lines up until Tommy shows up as a 55, 60-year-old man. We're going to have to suspend some disbelief here and go if we're going to go along with these movies. You know what I mean? In that aspect, I think it's going to be okay. Can this be any worse? Of course it can. But we have some new elements added to it, and it seems to be more focused on Tommy this time. So hell, man, I'm all into it just for that alone, because this Friday fan film is a cut above most of the Friday fan films.
The production values, at least on Never Hike Alone, were outstanding, and they look on par or better in Never Hike in the Snow, even the little bit of a teaser that we got so far. I will give director Vincent DeSante props for that. The film looks gorgeous. I like the fact that even though filming in snow can create a whole lot of fucking challenges for a filmmaker, that they were like, fuck it. Everyone's been talking about it for years. This is what they want. We're going to try to give it to them. I hope they can pull it off. Now, the clip that we've seen looks fucking good. I am anxious to see where Tommy Jarvis, Tom Matthews' character, winds up in this. If I've heard correctly, this is a prequel to Never Hike Alone. Like Ziggy says, it sounds like he's a bigger part of this movie rather than just a 20-second cameo at the end like he was in Never Hike Alone.
Part 6, Part 2, you know, the further adventures of Tommy and Jason. Right. Yeah, man, that was one of the better entries. Arguably the favorite among the majority of Friday fans. I would disagree personally, but Tommy versus Jason, always going to win every time.
Colonel, I got a question for you. Does it seem like this movie takes place pretty much solely in the Part 6 timeline and just disregards like 7, 8?
Yeah, because he's not super decayed like he was in 7. Again, I know trademarks. But to me, it just makes the most sense. Because I'm trying to keep it short and sweet here because I really don't want to go on a rant.
Oh, damn, now I want to inspire a rant. So I got to think of it like a really anger-inspiring question for Colonel here.
Play the Manic Monday video.
It only works on Mondays, buddy.
Ziggy, you've already brought it up a little bit, but what did you think of Never Hike Alone as a story? You talked about that it looked better than most fan films, but as a story, what do you think?
I dug the Blair Witch. I dig independent camera, found footage, stuff that's pieced together like that. And in this aspect, this guy is filming an episode of whatever podcast he runs. Cool. And he runs across Jason. Totally works for me. I dig it. I buy it. You know, it did take a bit to get going, you know, but once it does, in a 57-minute feature, whatever it is we're calling this, I dug it. I thought that was an original take on the Friday the 13th material. Much better than Halloween Resurrection's take on the internet and Michael Myers and shit like that.
As much as I like the look of the film, I wasn't a great big fan of the story. I need to go back and watch it again. I need to give it an eyes wide open view because, I don't know, I think there was something jaded in the back of my mind when I first saw it, and I was like, no, this isn't Jason, this is not Jason, and I think that stuck in my head a little bit. So apologies to Womp Stomp Films, apologies to Vincent DeSante for anything I may have said in the past. I'm going to give it another look and check it out.
It needs to be said, this Jason here, he tried to do it himself. He didn't try to mimic Kane Hodder. He didn't try to mimic C.J. Graham, Ted White, any of them. He does it his own way. It may hurt this a little bit, I think. I think maybe that might have helped had he did kind of incorporate some of those signature moves. The subtle head tilts, yeah, they're there, but not quite the same. This guy made it his own, and it's kind of in a bad way, in my opinion.
Like Colonel mentioned at the very beginning, I have heard a little bit of backlash from, some fans that they call themselves on these social media sites that are like, oh, what? How does Jason know how to use a bow and arrow all of a sudden? Motherfucker's been rotting in a goddamn camp for, 40 years now? I think he's learned a few tricks along the way. Come on, motherfuckers. I get that. Just like Colonel said, at first it took him off a little bit. I can understand why Jason knows how to use a bow and arrow.
Can't be much different than shooting a harpoon gun.
Exactly.
I think when it comes to people like Jason, or killers like Jason, they're automatically attuned to any kind of weapon. Anything that falls into their lap, they can figure out how to use real fucking quick. Let's go back to Never Hike Alone for a minute and let Colonel get his word in on this because we haven't had a chance to talk to him about that yet.
Yeah, they just dropped an Uno card on me. Never Hike Alone. I thought it was decent for what it was. It was a fun watch. I agree a lot with Zach. Slow start. When it picks up, it picks up. But here's where maybe I'm just jaded Friday the 13th fan, and this is all we're getting. But I remember when it first came out, I heard someone say, "Oh man, this is so good, this should be canon." Not canon. It's a fan film. And this is where I kind of draw the line. I'm not too hyped about this. Right. I'm looking forward to it, but it's a fan film. I know that's all we're getting, but fuck, I don't care. It looks great. It's great practice. I hope Vincent goes on and do great things in the world of horror. I think he can, but I can't wait till he gets away from this never hype storyline and comes up with his own intellectual property. Because this guy can do great fucking things, man.
I agree with that. I would definitely love to see an original idea from DeSante. I think he'd be able to bring a fresh look at things. That's a very good point.
I think anybody would lose that argument trying to make it canon because, I mean, I don't know, what's the rule here? You know what I mean? Does it have to be a major studio property to be canon? Is that what we're saying? Or
pretty much. I mean, if you have to own the rights to Friday the 13th, I actually be able to call it a Friday the 13th film or a Jason film.
That's true. And that's going to be our reason why we say it's not canon. Doesn't have that epic, iconic title on it, brother.
He's not saying it's canon. Before it gets misconstrued. That does not come from the makers of the film. I'm talking strictly fans of the film.
The fans.
That's it.
If, when all the hullabaloo is settled and the dust kind of clears away, Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller have, resolved their differences, and Sean Cunningham has got as much a cut of the pie as he's probably going to steal from Victor Miller. Yeah, I said steal. Fuck you, Sean. Once all this is laid out, maybe they go to Vincent and they say, let's talk. Obviously, the intentions of fan films and little short films that are put on the internet are to get attention from producers and people that can give you a career making movies. If they go to him and say, let's hear your ideas, come and pitch us some ideas, what would you do? Best of luck to Vincent that he gets that call. Ziggy, you look like you're perplexed.
Can we at least take a look at Tom McLaughlin's script that he already claims he has written as a new sequel for Friday the 13th before we hand the reins off to somebody that's, I mean, I'm not saying he won't do a great job with it if he did get the chance, but we already know there's some other guys, some heavy hitters in the industry that are wanting to take a stab at this material. I think we owe it to everybody to take a look at everything before we decide on, settling on a fan director.
I'm not saying give him the fucking key.
Right. In my world, that's what I was,
Take a look at it.
Dude, please write a pitch. You definitely would be considered, of course. But I mean, I just want to see what everyone else has got as well. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, of course. I mean, let's be honest. McLaughlin had his chance. He did a great job with Part 6. I, too, would like to see a script. I find it interesting. I think it'd be great. But if the studio want to go younger, I totally understand. And I think this guy, he has earned the right if they decide to go with an unknown director, small-time guys, because obviously you can make a great product with a low fucking budget. And that's all studios see. I'm willing to hear every story, but again, if you got handed the fucking keys, at least I know the car's going to be in good fucking hands, you know what I mean?
For an example, I want to use the movie Host that was on Shudder that we reviewed a few weeks ago. That movie was originally a short film that was seen by executives at Shudder. They reached out to the guy who wrote and directed it, asked if he could do a longer version of it, and he did. That's how that movie got to Shudder. The fact that people are watching this online content. People are watching these fan films and soaking up these little horror short films that are being put out there in the world. I mean, it's a slim chance, but it does give a chance for that to take shape and that to launch your career.
No, man, I totally agree. I'd be happy as fuck just to see a real Friday the 13th production.
Let me ask you this. In the same vein that Child's Play and Chucky now has two completely different universes and two completely different timelines. The new movie with Mark Hamill in the role of Chucky is supposed to start a whole new series. But Don Mancini and his team, including Brad Dourif, are starting a TV series that will continue the original storyline of the movie. Could you see the Friday the 13th world splitting off into two different universes, possibly one going to TV and then one continuing the movies?
I can see it financially, because everybody's going, at the end of all this, they decide to split it, everybody's going to want a piece of that fucking pie. But man, going to TV, fuck, that's a hard sell for Friday the 13th. I'm sorry, it really is. I know there's already a Friday the 13th TV series, as we all know, and nothing to do with Friday the 13th. It's just the name alone. I just think that'd be a little difficult.
See,
unless you did like a prequel type deal and made it like a teen drama about working at a fucking summer camp. And you put that on the CW. People watch that shit, I guess.
No.
We wouldn't, but people would.
Don't put it on the fucking CW. No, don't start that rumor, Colonel. For example, what American Horror Story did with their last season, the slasher season. I thought that was fairly well done. I could almost see the Never Hike series as little TV shows. They're basically, you're following one guy or a very small group of people for an episode, and then the next one jumps ahead to, another group. I could see like Vincent's stuff as TV, maybe McLaughlin's idea continuing from part 6, doing the movie universe.
They tried to do that TV show already. They couldn't get past development. They couldn't figure out a way to sustain it. It sounded like it was going to be the Incredible Hulk, like moving town to town, like Jason moving around and in pursuit. I would have loved to have seen it, but I mean, these guys don't know what to do with what they've got. There's a built-in audience. It's been proven again with the recent sales of the box sets that are coming soon. I mean, sold out all the way around. They had to get to the 2nd edition without all the extra shit, and they're selling the shit out of those now. So This shit is far from over. There's still money to be made. Therefore, there will be shitty interpretations coming as well, unfortunately.
So, Never Hike in the Snow, coming out October 13th on YouTube. Get ready for it. Make sure to get over to Womp Stomp Films. Make sure to subscribe to them as well and be able to see it as soon as it drops. We can't wait for it. That's going to wrap up. Let's go camping. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this. Stick around.
I'm going to go now.
You got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
Wondershare Filmora is a user-friendly, easy-to-use video editing software which contains hundreds of special effects for video that allows you to easily create a unique visual effect. Head to www.wondershare.net and get started editing now.
The Death Curse Society has just become an associate producer on the film.
Yes.
Bravo! Bravo! Death Curse Society, guys, is so awesome. I met the guys, all 3 of the guys, at Indianapolis last year for Horror Hound. And I met those dudes, and I gotta tell you, like, I hung out with them, we took pictures, I signed some stuff, they gave me a t-shirt. It was awesome. They are awesome guys. So super cool. I am so glad to have them on board this campaign and also on board the film. And now they are gonna be IMDb credited as producers on this movie.
Hey everybody, it's CJ Graham, Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th Part 6. You're watching Death Curse Society.
Woo! Welcome back, gang. It is time for a whole lot of topics that we want to talk about for you right now. It's stories around the campfire.
I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason.
Hey, come back, come back!
First up on Stories Around the Campfire, Scream Factory has gone above and fucking beyond anything that they've ever done, in my opinion anyway. The new Friday the 13th box set from them that is going to have all the movies in it, first time in a long time, also is going to include some previously presumed lost footage from Part 2, the Gore footage.
Let's take a look.
No. We don't have it. We don't have it yet.
Oh, man.
We're just going to talk about it because, man, I am pumped about this. This is footage that was pulled from the original film because it would have given it an X rating, basically.
Dude, back in the day, it was bullshit. There were like congressional meetings about gore in movies and violence and stuff like that. Absolutely ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It's a miracle that these things came up. I can't wait to see what they got with this shit, man.
Colonel, what are you looking forward to the most in the gore footage that we're going to get?
What scene does everybody want to see? I want to see the pale. Shoot. Yeah. That's my favorite kill. But I really want to see all the hoopla about that fucking scene, because everybody talks about that scene, and they talk about this now found missing footage, which I think is hilarious. They found it on an old VHS tape. That's fucking perfect. That's what I want to see. Hopefully they still edited out the not yet of age footage. I don't want to see that, even though those titties are like 60 years old now. It's of age now, but it wasn't back in 1980.
I was sitting here going, what is he going to say? Where is he going to go with this? And how is he going to go around that scene that he's clearly zeroed in on?
I'll just do this. I mean, I'm not fucking Tom Hanks over here.
Why do we keep bringing Tom Hanks up in this shit? He's not a pedophile.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Is he?
He could be. No, fuck, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about nothing.
I just know he had a very large order from Wayfair.
Shut the fuck up. He had to move. Well, fuck, never mind. Nope, we're not
He
getting into
had to
that.
move to Greece.
We're not getting into that. Yeah, he had to furnish a whole new apartment over there in Greece.
Hey, Tom, Grease is the word.
Jeez. All right, shut up. We got to talk about Gore. Jesus fucking Christ. Yes, that kill, the spear through two people is one I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the machete in the head and the wheelchair. I'm looking forward to seeing a knife actually cut through a couple of people a little more. That's going to be interesting. Now, I don't think legally they can release the nudity scene that you're alluding to.
Well, good.
I don't think we will see that, but if it happens to sneak in there,
They're being coy about it, too. They're not saying it's
no, they're not.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I'll be thrilled if it's not there. I mean, that's not what I want to see. I want to see the fucking blood and guts. That's what I want to see. That's what I was promised in this missing footage. That's what I want. I can give a fuck less about a movie.
See, I'm relatively shocked about that from Colonel.
It sounds to me like you guys are some real Tom Hanks over here. I don't know what.
Fuck you and your Tom Hanks. Ziggy, what about you? What are you looking forward to most from the lost scenes?
They had an interview with the guy that actually took and did lifted the tape. They had to cook the tape to actually bring it back, so unstick it, and it turned out okay, but it's obviously not going to be treated and perfected like the film was. It's going to look a little bit off. I don't give a fuck. I can't wait to see all of it. I wish they would give us a cut, and maybe some of these savvy film editors out here can do it once it's released and edit that shit back in there just like they did with My Bloody Valentine a few years ago. The new shit was added back in. It looked horrible. It was all grainy and the film looked like somebody just, used it to buff a shoe with it or something, man. But it was great seeing the extended gore in there, and a Friday the 13th as epic as part 2. Oh my God. How can you go wrong? It could have the actual scent of human feces on it, and I think we'd all pile into that small room and watch that tape, no problem. Yeah, but the machete to the face, the guy, on Mark, that's going to be, they already said there's you get the actual whack, and get a second to take it all in before he rolls down the stairs. Exciting.
Yeah, I don't expect this footage to be more than 18 seconds total.
Probably.
It's a chunk of history, basically, and it's a chunk of the stuff that we as horror fans love. We love the gore. We love the blood. We want to see it. It doesn't make us sick individuals. Well, maybe a couple of us, but it doesn't make us sick individuals because of that. We like the blood. That's why we're there. When it comes to cutting it back into the film, though, that would be just so distracting. I'm sure somebody's going to do it. Some YouTuber is going to do it. It might be Ziggy.
The My Bloody Valentine, it's cool. I can accept it because when it does go shitty, you're getting the goods right there, what they cut. I mean, there's no mistaking it.
I'd be okay with an ultimate cut of it like that.
Watch it once and move on. And you'll be like, you know what? I've seen it in its original form.
For those of you that have already ordered it from Shout Factory, get ready for a special treat. I know you guys know about this already, and you're ready for it. We're ready for it. We can't wait. Colonel's got a little sweat on his brow already.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
It ain't sweat.
Well, this part's sweat. There's a reason why stock is stuck together like this. But man, I'm telling you, this sucks because now I got to open it, and I said I wasn't going to open it. It's like now I kind of wish someone would magically find the missing footage from part 7. But hey, I'm getting greedy with that one.
But then that means we need another fucking box set in 5e.
I'd buy it again.
I'm game.
That's the thing. They know they got us. Every time they do something like that,
150, 160 bucks out the door, just like that.
We need to get some kind of Friday the 13th products support group going here, man. Hi, I'm Zigzag. I'm a Friday the 13th addict.
Hi, Zigzag.
It's been 3 days since my last purchase.
If you haven't gotten it from Shout Factory, go hit their website, order it today. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee.
Take my money.
Next up on Stories Around the Campfire, there is a new Evil Dead sequel in the works. It's called Evil Dead Rise. Recently, Bruce Campbell has teased that the setting for this movie will not necessarily be the dark woods, the cabin where all the demons spawned from in the original. It's going to be a city setting, an urban setting, possibly even a high-rise apartment building. Many of the fans have gotten their panties in a bunch about this and are freaking the fuck out.
Initially, I thought, wow, what a great idea. But the more I think it through, this is some seriously thin ice you're treading on here, folks. The story better be really fucking good, and it better be something really, really captivating, because those woods played a huge, huge fucking role in this whole thing. I'm not seeing it. I guess a huge cellar in an apartment complex, maybe, something like that. That could be creepy, but I don't know, man.
My take on it is, I mean, the Necronomicon can go anywhere and be open anywhere. If it happens to occur in a tall apartment building, creepy shit's gonna happen. Maybe the woods start growing in the apartment. Who knows? We'll see. Colonel, what about you?
See, I'm like Zag. I'm open to the idea. Here's why. People got their panties in a bunch over being in a city setting. I'm pretty sure they went back to the fucking Dark Ages and Army of Darkness. Mm-hmm. Apparently everybody forgot Ash vs. Evil Dead, where he traveled and went fucking everywhere. What worries me most about this setting is, how's it going to look? They pretty much planning yourself into a corner for the high rise, because I'm afraid if they do like a whole city block, even just a block, you're going to lose so much. That makes Evil Dead so great, and that's the practical effects. If you need deadites everywhere, you know there's going to CGI these motherfuckers in, and it's going to be terrible. If you want a big setting, great, but the story's going to pinpoint in one fucking area. It's going to be like playing GTA. There's a whole city, but you only got one section unlocked. It's the only way I think it's going to work.
I also am open to the idea. At least it's not Evil Dead in space. At least they didn't go that route. When Predator went from the jungle in the original to the city in part 2, yeah, it was a little weird, but I was okay with it. But this one, I'm going to give a chance. I may rip it to shreds once we see it. I'll reserve judgment until we actually have this movie in the theater. Well, we won't know for a while because this movie's not even in major production yet. We're just hearing things as we get them. We're reporting them to you guys. Let us know what you think in the comments. Can an Evil Dead in that universe work in a city setting, in a high-rise apartment building? Let us know in the comments. We'll keep you posted whenever we hear anything new. Next up on Stories Around the Campfire, because of pandemic and coronavirus, I think I was the only one that was able to go see the New Mutants in the theaters that just dropped last week sometime. I don't really like doing review when it's just one person, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. The New Mutants is a movie that takes place in the X-Men universe, but a bunch of teenagers are basically locked away in this prison hospital. They're being monitored. They're being tested on. They're trying to figure out a way to have their life, either have it inside this hospital or get out. Shit starts going weird. A new patient comes in. Everything kind of goes to shit, and all hell breaks loose. Big demon bear comes out of nowhere and just starts chewing up the buildings. And it's kind of a weird movie. I actually enjoyed it a little bit. But see, I don't have any comic book background when it comes to X-Men. I went into this cold. I thought a couple of the performances were good. There's this weird kind of love story that's forced a little bit in it that I didn't really get behind too much. And you see it coming from a mile away. But I don't have a whole lot to say about it. Ziggy, do you have any questions about this that might help me clarify what I'm talking about here?
I don't know much about these characters, but based on that trailer, what aspects of this movie justify us talking about it on this show?
It was a hell of a lot darker than I expected. Now, granted, again, I know nothing about the comic books. The people I have talked to about this movie that are comic book fans said they were kind of surprised I didn't know that this was going to be a darker film. There are certain nightmarish images that are inflicted on most of the teenagers by one person. She doesn't mean to do these things to people, but that's her power, is she can manifest your greatest fear. Certain things are coming back. There's almost a human not to bring up Tom Hanks again, but there's almost like a human trafficking theme to one other girl's storyline, which is kind of strange. They don't flesh it out too much, but she alludes to it, and you get this kind of weird image that comes from that later on in the movie. Some of the effects are pretty good. Marilyn Manson actually is the voice of Smiley Guy, or whatever he's called, that is part of the nightmare visions that are being seen. But yeah, it's not a flashy, colorful X-Men movie. It was definitely dark. I would have liked to have seen this skew off into an alternate universe of the X-Men, though. I would have liked to have seen more of this. Colonel, what about you?
So this movie doesn't take place pre or post X-Men, the actual formation of the X-Men.
I believe it's post, because they talk about the doctors that are running this hospital are supposedly seeing if they would make good X-Men, if they would make a good addition to the team. If their powers are controllable, they're usable in a fight against good and evil. They think that part of what they're in this hospital for is for research to see if they can be added to the X-Men.
Obviously, if all hell's breaking loose, this has nothing to do with Professor Xavier and the School for Gifted Children. So there goes my question if Professor Xavier got in Cerebro and was able to get in his kids' minds, settle them down. So it sounds to me like this is an operation run by Stryker, who was trying to capture all the mutants with the Sentinels and this and that, and he's trying to weaponize them.
The corporation that is controlling this, and this may be a Easter egg to people that have read the comics, is the Essex Corporation. Does that mean anything to you?
Kind of. I have to go back again. I'm not the biggest comic book junkie. I just know I know the most about the X-Men out of the three of us. So that's like being a dwarf among midgets, or whatever that saying is, based on our knowledge. It's not like I can go to the comic book shop right now and fucking get dismantled here. Honestly, I have no desire to see this movie, even after you saying, it's okay.
As just John Q. Public, I thought it was all right.
It looked like it had some jump scare moments in it, which would have been cool with, but, you know, it just looks like another see it once and forget type movie, really.
What CGI was worse? New Mutants? It Chapter 2.
This is the barometer for which all bad CGI is measured.
Now, since last year, that's the lowest of fucking lows, is It Chapter 2.
I'd still have to say It Chapter 2, honestly, because, fuck it. Watch the movie or not, there's going to be a little bit of a spoiler here. The final enemy at the end is this gigantic demon bear. I already kind of mentioned the demon bear anyway. It looks like it's made of smoke and then red eyes, and it doesn't really have a concrete form to it. Its body morphs and shifts like smoke would. And that was, like I said, all CGI. Didn't look great, but it didn't look awful either. But you can't, that's one of those things you can't really recreate in a practical effect. It kind of worked, but it still kind of took me out of it. Anytime I see CGI that's blatantly obvious, I had a little mini stroke or whatever you want to call it. Start drooling on myself, spill my popcorn. Ziggy, are you there? Oh,
what?
Okay, he's back. I would give the movie, if I was going to rank it, I'd give it probably a 5. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I also have no attachment to these characters.
A 5.
A 5.
So the power didn't hit you like a fist?
See, I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what that means. That is literally a secret thing that very few people watching this will even fucking get.
Anyway, the New Mutants, it's in theaters now. Probably won't be for much longer. Go check it out there or catch it on video on demand when it drops there. Next on Stories Around the Campfire, last week I got the chance to attend a fucking convention for once this year. Oklahoma City's Horror Con took place August 29th through the 30th in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Where?
Oklahoma. Yeah. I know. Fuck you. Yeah, these guys are pissed off that I got to go to a con, but got a sizzle reel for you. Want you to check this out, and then we'll be back, chat a little bit more about it. Woo!
I'm bored. I miss cons. I miss my horror friends. Fuck this coronavirus. I forgot all about this. Oklahoma City's Horror Con. What am I gonna wear? Haha, yes. Perfect.
Yes! Let's go! Woo! Hey gang, it's Red Crank from Death Curse Society, standing outside the Sheridan Hotel and Reed Conference Center in Midwest City for Oklahoma City Horror Con. I'm taking this off for a minute. We're gonna be in here all day. Doors are getting ready to open. We're getting ready to go in there and tear some shit up. Let's have a good time. Woo!
Rad, is that your real name?
It's spelled Rad, it's pronounced Rod, but it is really spelled Rad. So.
I keep calling him Rad.
It's okay, it's spelled Rad. So.
That is how it's spelled.
I'm
He's
Rad.
the organizer of Oklahoma City's Horror Con 2020. Dude, thanks for doing this.
Thank you for being here again, 10 years in a row. I appreciate it. It literally turned into a business overnight. People demanded, hey, you got to do it again, bring more guests, do it again. So that's how we're here. I'm really not a show promoter, but I've turned into a show promoter, I guess.
You are now.
So,
Standing here with a couple of the icons from Twisted Minds Haunted Attraction. Oh yeah, that's right. So, what is your role in Twisted Minds Haunted Attraction? Okay, he's a little quiet right now. Let's try this other guy. Yeah, howdy cowboy. You enjoy working at a haunt like Twisted Minds? These guys aren't real, my bad.
Hey, this is Miko Hughes from Pet Cemetery and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. You're watching Death Curse Society. Is that okay?
I heard last night you got a chance to practice your surfing skills on top of a hotel bellhop. How did that go?
It was fun. I mean, I didn't fall. I was pretty drunk, but... I hear there's videos. I guess I'll find out.
Oh, I got it. I'm kind of freaking out right now. This is Dog, the pig man. He's the butcher on site at Twisted Minds Haunted Attraction.
And when do you open? We open the last weekend of September. Then we run till November 2nd.
I'm here with Pennywise and Georgie. You guys are friends now?
I've kind of taken him on. He didn't really die.
Okay.
So
I don't know where my parents are.
You don't know where your parents are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you guys do? Do you guys just hang out in the sewer most of the time and come up here for conventions and things like that?
Most of the time.
Are you trying to steal children?
Wayfair, you got just what I need.
Hey everybody, it's CJ Graham, Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th Part 6. You're watching Death Curse Society.
What do you think
is part of the reason behind just the longevity of the character and the recognizable factor.
That's easy to fans.
It's over. Oklahoma City's Horror Con is no more this year, but I think they've got some good things coming next year. It was fun. Can't wait till next year. Uh-oh. Do I have to dance too? I don't know how to dance.
Jingle, jingle, jingle!
Woo! So there you go. Those were the highlights from Oklahoma City Horror Con. It was a lot of fun. If you guys are looking for more from that convention, you can go to our YouTube page, check out some of the videos. I've got panels from Alex Vincent, Andrew Bernarski, Miko Hughes, and CJ Graham. I've also got a couple of exclusive interviews with Miko Hughes and CJ Graham. Also got an interview with the organizer of the con himself, Mr. Rod Janlu. He's looking forward to next year, as I am. It's going to be a great time, I think. Oklahoma City's Horror Con is going to be one of those kind of rising stars in the convention world. Colonel, any questions?
Rod is pretty rad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Here's some more statements where I get the questions. Motherfucker, you got me for Tom Hanks and Wayfair? I'm pretty sure the Wayfair jingle on this is real, just saying. And number 3, whose dick did you have to suck to get all those interviews?
I can't really say. I'm contractually obligated not to mention whose dick I had to suck. I may need to borrow your sock later.
It's always available for you, buddy.
No, you know, you can't say no to this face. Well, actually, one person did say no to this face. But fuck that guy. No, I'm just kidding. Ziggy, any questions?
At any time when you were preparing to depart for this con, did you ever go fuck yourself?
No, but I will keep that in mind next time. Man, I didn't realize you guys are going to be so bitter about this.
No, I'll tell you what, though. My new hero for this day forward and for all time is the guy with the party favor popping out of his trach hole, dude. That is the fucking sickest thing I've ever seen. What the hell? What's going on with that guy? I got to know.
That guy was killing me. Like, every time I'd walk by, he just had it just sitting, like, it was locked in, and he was walking around just dealing with stuff, and as people walked by, he just, you know, at people when they walked by, and then they had to come and look at his booth. It was funny shit, man.
I've never been so disturbed yet entertained at the same time.
What was funny about that whole gag for me was the first couple times, like, oh, that's kind of funny. I got to them, I was like, that's not funny anymore. They just got funny again out of nowhere.
Well, because you never know when it's going to pop up again.
Every time it came up, the first time it was kind of like, oh, disgusting. And then it was like, the second time it's like, and then I was full out Beavis and Butthead by the end of it, man. Every time it came up, I was busting, I was laughing, man. That shit is funny. That guy is funny. Yeah. We got to get him on the show. That's all it does.
Oh, God.
Well, if he does that, I'm putting a party blower in my butthole off to the side of it.
Okay, maybe we won't have him.
Yeah, now we can't have him on the show. It was a great time. It was nice to get back to a con. I'm ready to go again this week. I cannot wait to see what Oklahoma City's Horror Con is like next year. Hopefully, I can get these two schlubs trek down to Oklahoma and hang out with me. That would be the best.
Have it in July.
Okay, let me see what I can do. Yeah, thanks to Rod and all the crew and fans of Oklahoma City Horror Con. It was a lot of fun. So don't forget, Rod also runs the Nightfall Haunted Territory haunted attraction in Oklahoma City area. Look them up on Facebook. Get ready for when they are going to open in late September, I believe, and go check it out.
Social distance haunted houses. I'm absolutely intrigued by this concept.
There were a couple of them. There was another one that I talked to, Twisted Minds haunted attraction, which is also in Oklahoma City. They were briefly in the sizzle reel too. They're doing it that way too. They're small groups. They can't run right up on them anymore. They have to kind of be, 6 to 10 feet apart and still try to do a scare. That's going to be interesting.
Some of the ones here in Michigan are doing like drive-throughs. Actually, you can drive down the trail, and I don't know how they're going to do it.
See, I'm just worried somebody's going to get run scared in the car, crank on the gas accidentally, and plow into a few people. Yeah, or crash into a tree or a prop or whatever.
God, I can't wait for the dash cam videos of that.
Oh, man.
Don't let me down, people. Don't let me down.
No shit. There are going to be some good ones out there.
I won't be running anybody over, but I'll try to get some footage if I go to one of them around here.
Like a Leatherface just getting hit by the car and falling all the way over. Chainsaw running and everything.
The grunts.
About 25 years ago, I worked at a haunted hayride, and I was wearing Leatherface gear. And it was like at some points of the hayride, it was a tractor that pulled the hayride through, and it had to build up the road with dirt. So there were like berms, right? So I'm running through out of the woods from my spot, and I'm on the road, but then I kind of cut to the left, and the ground completely dropped 4 feet below me. I did the old frog splash on top of the chainsaw. No chain on it, but cracked a couple of ribs, knocked the wind out of myself. Still tried to be scary, though. I'm all, ha! Ha!
And there's no video of this anywhere, is there?
No, there's no video.
Son of a bitch.
Then how hard up were they for actors? I'm sure you're a great haunt actor. But
seriously, last time I took the physical
small,
role.
lanky guy and put you as Leatherface. It needs to be somebody like me being Leatherface.
You know, there's a whole story behind it. The guy I used to ride out with was the pokiest bastard on the planet, so he'd get off work and just fuck around. There'd always be nothing but shit jobs left. By the time we get their first come, you get to claim what you want. That's all they had left were the chainsaw guys. Wasn't really a Leatherface. It was just kind of a, a chainsaw guy with a mask. It was like a bottom mask.
I was going to say, you'd be more equipped for like a Slender Man role or some weird shit like that. But
My favorite doing that one was the cemetery. You'd walk around as a zombie, and like I had actually jumped from behind this giant tombstone and hit a trampoline that was in the bottom of the grave. And I would just launch out at the fucking thing. It was the greatest thing ever, dude. People would shit themselves. It was fun, man. That one was cool. And that chainsaw shit is for the birds, man. The cap came off once. I doused gas all over myself. It's horrible, man.
Finally, for Stories Around the Campfire, I want to tease our next episode of Monday Maniacs. Why am I going to tease our next episode of Monday Maniacs that we do on Facebook every Monday? Because it will be our second anniversary of doing the DCS show. Death Curse Society turns 2 years old, basically next Monday. Colonel, you ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready to be a toddler, baby. I tell you what, times are simple. Eat, sleep as shit, and watch cartoons. It's going to be fantastic. But other than my normal life, we get to talk about our favorite Death Curse Society skits, promotions,
clips,
interactions, clips. I may have a video of Crank sucking dick at OKC Horror Con. Who knows? It's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be great. Reminiscing, feels much longer than 2 years. It's going to be really fun going back and looking at the last 2 years and then looking forward to the next 2 after that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think this one's going to be a lot of fun. We do get to show you guys some of the stuff you may have missed over the last 2 years. We're also going to be giving away a bunch of t-shirts that night, so stay tuned for that. It will happen Monday night on Facebook Live starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Ziggy, what are you looking forward to?
I'm telling you, man, there'll be some funny moments here. 2 years, it doesn't seem like it's been 2 years, but here we are. And we've got some t-shirts to give away. You're going to have to earn it, though. I've got some trivia we're going to throw at you. And no fucking Googling, man. You're going to have a time. You're going to have to respond. It's like Jeopardy. It's going to be like, click, click, click. You ain't got time to look it up. Because I'm going to drop the shit on you. You don't answer, you don't win. And I'm going to pull contestants up as I see fit. You might even win something else. Some of you have mentioned wanting to acquire one of those Jill bobbleheads. Well, I'll think about it. I'll consider. But expect, man, you're going to get your chance to show your Loomis because we're definitely going to give a couple of those away. So it's going to be fun. It's 2 years. There's going to be stories. There's going to be memories. There's going to be laughs. There's going to be cries. And in the end, we'll all hug in the name of horror. It'll be a kumbaya with blood and electric guitars.
So anyway, join us Monday night on Facebook Live for a Monday Maniacs. It's our weekly live show that we do. We just cover weird topics, talk about different things. This one's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to kind of reminisce. It's almost like sitcoms used to do the clip shows whenever they ran out of a storyline for a little bit. It's going to be kind of like that. I'm looking forward to it.
I hate those.
Hope to see you guys on Monday. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for Let's Go Camping and the show. It's time to send them home. Colonel.
Well, son of a bitch, it's over already. Yeah. This sucks. But you know what doesn't suck? Phil Moore by Wondershare, yes. It is one of the best editing software out there available today, and it's very affordable, which is great. Money's a little tight for everybody right now. It hasn't been the greatest year, but fuck, if you want to look great at a low price, Phil Moore by Wondershare.
You have the strangest way of throwing a compliment at some things. Ziggy.
Space. It's out there. And so is the internet. And so is the Death Curse Society. Find us anywhere out there, folks. Computers, cell phones, tablets. Fuck it. We got it all. DeathCurseSociety.com. Find us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. The notification bell gets the stuff served right under your fucking nose. So it's right there. You get to pick which ones you want to chow on and take in. And it's great. We got the Facebook, we got the Instagram, we got the Twitter. It's all there. We got shit popping on each platform. Right there for you. It's out there. Space, internet, DCS.
I want to believe.
You guys are really confusing me a little bit today. If you guys are looking for some clothing accessories and you want to support the show a little bit more, get yourself your own DCS Death Curse Society t-shirt. We got a couple to choose from. We got the original logo tee. We have limited quantities of those. And then as Ziggy is showing off, I don't think Ziggy understands that right over here there's a, you know, an image of this shirt about to pop up. It's our Flash Your Loomis shirt. Death has come to your little town. Limited run of these that we did a while back. We got a few left. $20 for small through extra large. 2X and up is only $25. That covers shipping. Send your money and information to paypal.me/zigzag is DCS, and we'll get you a shirt right to you. They're lovely. Our next episode will be September 24th. We really don't know what the hell we're going to be talking. Thanks, Colonel. We really don't know what the hell we're going to be talking about because everything's still kind of up in the air right now. We're going to find something. We're going to talk about it. Until then, for the Colonel, for Zigzag, this is Red Crank saying DCS out. Thank you for watching, as always. And we'll see you for our 2-year anniversary as special on Monday. Woo! Too much.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
So you ever trying to do a comedy skit? Like, oh, sing the Harlem.
That's karma. That's karma.
There we go. Ah, my ass cushion fell off.
Ah, my ass meat.
There we go.
We haven't had a good set fall down on Colonel, you know, outtake.
In a while.
Yeah.
It's great.
Now, this thing's on its last fucking leg, man. Like, I'm surprised it's just there.
You know, I mean, we got this. Go ahead and got the end credits gag all wrapped up all the way already. It's perfect.
It was an animated movie I had on VHS. I used to watch as a kid. Professor Xavier's trying to get in somebody's mind. He's like, the power, and he goes, ah! And then it falls over out of his wheelchair. He's like, the power hit me like a fist. And I don't know, even as a kid, that shit just always hung on with me being so fucking bad and stupid. I was like, that's like literally, here I am, 25 years later. Look for that's Loomis? I could have swore that was fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And that's the bottom line.
I'm going to punch that fucking kid in the face.
You know what's not up in the air? Zag's limp dude. Sorry. Because he needs blue pills to get it hard.
Man.
So I explain that. It's not making a show anyway, Zach. Don't worry about it.
I ain't that old.